No More Sorrow, a tribute to my hero Chester. Troy Dukart. Troy Dukart, No More Sorrow, a tribute to my hero Chester.
On July 20th, 2017, I lost the greatest hero of my life. This is somebody that has been with me pretty much my entire life, helping me with the pain of growing up and just letting me know I was never alone through his music. He inspired millions of people worldwide, and he had legions of fans, and we're all still wondering why he's gone. That man's name is Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park, the rock group. And while we're still trying to come to grips with this incredible tragedy, there is some good news to come out of this. Just to let you know, if you didn't know, he was found at his Los Angeles home where he committed suicide from hanging himself in his bedroom. The good news is that this is an incredibly preventable tragedy, and you have to know that suicide is a real issue in this world. The first thing I'm going to talk about is a little bit about my hero Chester and how he inspires me even today. Some facts about suicide that you need to know, and how we can all be a part of the solution. Suicide is never the answer. It's a terrible tragedy, and it hurts to even think that this had to happen. So to begin, we'll talk about my hero Chester. He was born on March 20th, 1976 in Phoenix, Arizona. And he always loved rock music. That was his favorite thing in the world. And he dreamed one day of becoming a speaker, or I should say a singer. And he made that dream come true. But unfortunately, what made his lyrics so powerful was the fact that he went through immense pain as a kid. At age 11, his parents divorced, and he was often left to himself because they were involved in careers that left Chester to himself. When he became a teenager, he became heavily involved with drugs and alcohol due to the fact that he was bullied and harassed for how he looks, which is another tragedy in America. But perhaps the most tragic thing I learned about Chester was from age of 7 to 13, he was molested by a family friend. Despite all this tragedy, though, he rose up, and in the late 90s, he moved to Los Angeles to form what would become known as Linkin Park, one of the most successful rock bands of the 21st century. Just to give you some insight to their success, they sold over 70 million albums worldwide. They had 63 international awards, and they won 2 Grammys with Chester. And the great thing about Chester was he supported a lot of great causes. He was a supporter of the Grammy Foundation, which supports understanding and pushing out American music culture. Music Cares, which helps local communities in critical times of need through music support. Music Relief, which Linkin Park started, and they respond to natural disasters and advocates for climate change awareness. And he was also a supporter of PETA, which I support as well. Us fans are just crippled by this because he had so much greatness to offer. He had 6 children, a beautiful wife, and the best friends he could ever have. Unfortunately, I think that the demons of his early childhood haunted him all the way up until his death. He'll always be missed by art. So now that you know a little bit about Chester, I want to give you guys some statistics about suicide and how serious it is. According to the Center for Disease Control, depression is the leading cause for this disability worldwide. There is an average suicide in the U.S. every 13 minutes, and globally, every 40 seconds. Globally, suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death for ages 15 to 44, and yet, the highest rates of suicides occur in females 45 to 55 and males 75 plus. Without outside help, only 50% of people with depression symptoms seek treatment. The average suicide cost to society per person is $1.3 million. And $57 billion a year total in the U.S. a median of 6 to 32 survivors exist after a suicide. And this puts estimates at over 250,000 people a year to deal with suicide. While males commit suicide at a 4 times higher rate, females attempt suicide at a 3 times higher rate. And what's really sad to me is the lesbian, gay, bi, queer, transgender community commit suicide at a 4 times higher rate. And they become 2.5 times more likely to do so if verbally or physically harassed for who they are. This is a travesty on the globe. It should not happen. It's too painful. There's good news though. It's incredibly preventable. According to Save.org, they state that 80 to 90% of people that sought help for depression or suicide symptoms were cured. Think about that. Let that sink in. If there's 38,000 Americans that die from suicide a year, and we save 90% of them, that's 34,000 people that don't have to die. And over 200,000 people that don't become survivors. It is simply as easy as taking that person to seek therapy through talk therapy and or medication. And by the way, antidepressants are not addictive. This should never happen. There's no reason, no matter how much pain somebody goes through. But I'll say this, if you know somebody or yourself are ever feeling incredibly down, don't ever give up. The thing that Chester taught me was we're not alone in our pain. And seeking help is not a weak way out. I'm going to pledge my life to spread this message because it's just too important to not let people know that they can be saved. I hope you join me in this pledge because someday you might be in a position to save somebody's life. If you're looking for more help, I hope you check out the Center for Disease Control.org. Thank you very much.